Welcome back, everyone. It is day 3 of the consistency on working out, doing our Japanese studies, and getting some shit done. It's been a very busy day today. I've been going since 8 o'clock. I am finally getting my first meal, so I don't really have a lot of time to talk right now, but we're going to eat some lunch, get some calls in. We have a couple more meetings this evening, and then we're going to be going to the gym and getting some studies done later. So I will probably catch you guys around the gym time today. Not a whole lot of videos this morning just because I was focused on work, but I'm gonna go eat some food now and I'll see you guys at the workout. It is 5:45 and I'm finally done with work today. We had a really long day today, so there really wasn't any recording whatsoever. We have a big event coming up, so right now all of my focus is put there. Even after work is over, there's a lot of texting back and forth with some providers, so unfortunately, this is a day where I worked a lot more hours than most. But, you know, that's the life of being in sales. So what we got going on right now is we are making some, not breakfast, but our pre-workout snack. And we're getting ready to go to the gym and we're going to hit back and buys. We are a little bit behind on eating today, unfortunately. I've not ate as much as I need to. And I mean, that's also just comes with the territory when you're working throughout the day and you work in sales and you have a bunch of calls and your quota kind of depends on how well you're doing. You don't really eat much. I mean, at least for me, I get super distracted throughout the workday. So, for instance, today I've only had maybe a meal and a half because even though we technically have a lunch, you don't really take a lunch. I maybe eat a 5 to 10 minute meal because between 11 o'clock and 2 o'clock, you're mainly taking meetings, which is your typical lunch day. And my dumbass self, who usually does intermittent fasting and doesn't eat until 11 sometimes if I don't put in a breakfast, I don't usually get to eat until 2 o'clock, and that's also a prime time for my calling. So I don't take a long lunch. It's usually 5 to 10 minutes, just scarf the food down and then right back to work. And then most of the evening is spent calling, texting, and just getting in touch with other providers, and that's pretty much what I did today. So not a whole lot of content, but we still have a long evening ahead of us. I do like to get back what I don't get throughout the day. So we're going to get a big back and buy workout in today. We're going to get some cardio in. Well, we might not do cardio today and save us some 20 minutes that we could put back into studying because I'm not truly focused on cardio right now. I still do 3 to 4 days of cardio a day is the minimum that we're doing. But it's not an everyday type of thing. When I get back in my cut, that's probably what we're going to be looking at 5 to 6 days a week for cardio. But for right now, it's 3 to 4. Plus, I usually go golfing twice a week, and I go to the driving range or play 18. So I get a little bit of cardio back there. Not a lot by any means. So maybe no cardio today, just so we can get back a little bit earlier. But we got a great meal ahead of us. We got a banana and some Cocoa Puffs. This is our carbs for the day. It's by no means very clean, but pretty much all the other meals I'm eating throughout the day are clean. So I like to have my sweet treats every now and then, and this is going to feel a perfect workout for me. I also have some Skittles somewhere that I typically bring to the gym for a little bit harder workouts just to spike my sugar some more. But we're going to eat this down, get some carbs in us, and we're going to get ready for a big back and buy day. It's one of my favorite days to build the turtle back. So I'll probably catch you guys when we're outside the gym, and let's get a good workout in. We have just got to the gym. I have to say, I'm feeling pretty unmotivated today. I mean, after a long work day, this was definitely one of those days that I just wanted to lay in bed and not do shit all evening. But the second I do that, it ends up being one day, and then one day turns into 2 days, and it's really easy to get off the ball for workout. So I mean, even getting to the gym is an accomplishment, so even if it's those bad days, just getting something in and trying to get some movement going is super important. So we're going to knock out a back and buy workout today and take it a little bit easier. But that being said, most of my workouts have been a lot more lighter, if you've noticed from my videos now compared to my videos I first posted maybe 5 to 6 months ago. The real goal now is just getting intentional movement. I feel like when you start lifting for a long time and you get that ego side of things where you're oh, I could lift a lot heavier or I could go up in weight, that's when you're a lot more prone to injury and you're also not being as productive in the gym. So one of my coworkers, he actually does bodybuilding and giving me some good tips I've been using. And I've dropped like all my weight to like maybe 80% of what I've pushed for short sets in the past. And just been focusing more on a squeeze and time in between like tension. So I feel like the results have been a lot better. I've been a lot more sore after workouts, that's for sure. But the back has been growing a lot more, the chest has been growing a lot more, so we can't be mad about it. So we're gonna get an easy back and bi day in, which might turn into a pretty intense back and bi day, knowing how back and bi days go. And then we're skipping cardio today just because we're gonna be doing it Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and we might do some posing after, depending on how I feel. And then we're gonna get back, get some dinner, and try to get some relaxed time in before I have to go to bed to get up early for a work meeting tomorrow. So that's our plan. Let's get some recording done, and let's get a nasty turtle back going. We just got done with a killer back workout. I did cut it short a little bit early. I was supposed to do back and bis, but I just wasn't feeling it today, to be honest. I have a whole entire arm day later this week, so I told myself I would just go extra hard when I hit arms and just give myself a little time to breathe. So instead of doing 5 back workouts, 3 to 4 arm workouts, I just did 6 back workouts across the board. We were going to do some posing, but there were people in the posing room, and I'm still a little embarrassed when I record. I mean, I don't get embarrassed when I record myself posing. That's not as bad. But when I'm talking to a camera, it still hasn't like set in the fact that I make videos. So like, it's just a little different. It may take me a week or 2 to get out of my comfort zone and be like, screw it. I mean, I'm already doing it already. So we did get some posing in. The back was not looking as juicy as it was on other days. But I haven't really been hitting much posterior chain days, so that's a big reason why. I mean, my small muscles in my back are definitely improving, but I'm not necessarily getting wider. So I just need to start prioritizing my posterior chain and leg day over just my regular back day. But all in all, a pretty good workout. Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices when you have multiple hobbies. I mean, you can't fit everything into the day. So my sacrifice today is no cardio and skipping 2 bicep workouts, and in return getting some Japanese studies in, which is, I think I want to make my main priority across the board. Like, I think it would just be so cool to look back, 5-10 years from now, when I'm not fluent by any means, but I could speak Japanese and be like, well, how the hell did I get here? And then I have like these daily videos where I'm like, I really put in that work. So I mean, you got to start somewhere, and consistency is the hardest thing. So I mean, staying on top of things and just pushing yourself to do things, even though you don't really necessarily want to do it, is super important. I mean, like, I woke up today and I'm like, damn, I got to record today. I got to go to work today. I got to make meetings, get some deals done. Like, it's a lot on the plate. And you just start to like make excuses for like your productive things outside of work on not to do. But if I sit at home and be a broccoli on the couch as soon as work's done, that bleeds into my work day. So I think it's super important that you have your hobbies outside of work and you stay committed to them, because the second those drop away, then you're just kind of floating between hobbies and like 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door, and you can't stay consistent, and that always bleeds into the workplace too. So keeping these hobbies consistent is going to be tough, and there's going to be times I don't want to do it, but it's going to be super damn cool to look back, even like a month or 2 months from now, to be like, I was really doing the thing, and I'm still doing the thing. So quality day. Let's get back home. Let's shower, get some food in us, and let's get our ginger soda and some studies in. I'm getting a snack, and we're about to start studying some Japanese. So I'm pretty excited. Today we got some simple vocab work. No kanji today. I did my reviews for the kanji, but for some reason Wanikani didn't give me any new kanji today. So I'm still only at like the 25 I learned the last 2 days. I did my reviews and I got them right because I remember that the kanji particles or like the symbolism for each like little symbol or whatever it is. I burned that a long time ago. So re-looking back into it, it took me like 2 seconds to memorize it again. So we don't have any kanji work, so it's going to make it a little bit easier. I think the next plan is today. I'm feeling pretty confident on the vocab chapter 1. Like, all the vocabulary, I feel like I could, objectively go through and say. I still need to do some pronunciation work. So that's the plan for that. And then we're going to take a look at chapter 2 vocab and try to go through those words that I was struggling with in the past. But yeah, that's the plan. So for people who want to know how the Japanese pronunciation is going right now, if we were to say the time right now, it would be Ima wa Rokuji 21 分 desu. That'll be our time. And then if we're about to say at this hotel, I'm about to study, it'd be Hoteru de Ima kara Nihongo o benkyou shimasu. 私はちょっと日本語を話します. I speak a little Japanese. That's pretty much all I could say in Japan. So when I was visiting, like I would say hi to someone, I'd be like, 私は Christian です. よろしくお願いします. Like trying to be respectful. And then they'd start saying some shit. And I had no idea what they were saying. So I was just like, ちょっと日本語を話します. お話します. And then I would put more emphasis on Choto means just a little, so it would be I speak a little Japanese, and to emphasize it, I would say honto ni chisai nihongo o hanashimasu, which means like really small, like I can't speak, a 1-year-old. That's like where I was at. So that was my experience in Japan. Hopefully when we go back, it's gonna be a little bit better. But I'm about to get a shower. We got our own protein drink. And we're about to have a banana nut muffin for an after workout snack. And then we're gonna get into some studying. So let's get it. Got out of the shower, and while I was in the shower, I was doing some speaking practice with Japanese, which is probably like not as good as I think it sounds. It has to be like one of those things, like when you sing in the shower and you're just like, damn, I'm good. And then like if you ever record yourself and you hear yourself sing, you're like, holy shit, turn that off. I feel it's kind of similar to me speaking in Japanese while I'm in the shower. I went through like all like my workbook practice while I was in there, just kind of doing like some easy speaking. And I was thinking of like what I want to do to like farther like, make conversational Japanese easier down the road. Because I mean, as much as I love doing like the textbooks and actually learning and working towards a goal of like passing like the N5 at first and then like maybe like going for the N4 or something like that or N3, I want to make it fun at the same time. And like when you do like just textbooks, it's not as fun for me, especially with my ADHD. You guys are gonna excuse my hair, it's all wet and like nasty. But it's kind of like, like when you had like that really cool history teacher, would you learn about like a certain time period, and yeah, you're going by the textbooks, but every now and then like the teacher tells you like some cool story that happened there, or like something that's not going to be on the test but makes the subject just more interesting. I think I want to do that with my studies. So like have my textbook work, of course, have my kanji work, that's a given. And once I get my hiragana is already pretty much down pat. I've had that memorized for a long time, but getting my katakana re-memorized. Outside of that, like I want to do like supplementary works where maybe I start learning things that I like to do, so I could have conversational about what I like. So for instance, like learning Japanese lingo or just like vocabulary based around weightlifting or based around golfing, or talking about films and how I like anime and like how I could have conversations about that. And what'd be even cooler is almost use these like vlogs, not necessarily as a vlog, but as like practice, and like doing like as I get better and better, I could start talking about the things that I like in Japanese, maybe even throw subtitles on there. Well, you probably need Japanese and American subtitles because of how bad my speaking probably sounds. I would probably say something to some a Japanese local and be like, "That's not how you say it," and I do not know what you said. So I'm just throwing out thoughts out there. That might be something that I start doing. I'm going to start with weightlifting because I do that every single day pretty much, and it is one of the things that is just stay consistent no matter what. So I think like adding like 3 additional vocab or even two additional vocab words a day, that's like 10 in 5 days and like 14 in like a week, which is, that's a decent amount of words. You could talk with 14 words. I like weightlifting. It is fun. Well, maybe not as much talking as I like, but just slowly build off of that, and then as I like get vocabulary down based off the subjects I like, start talking Japanese, and then move on to the next subject, like maybe like golf. I'm really bad at golf, like hate the Disney, which means like unskilled, but just learning like vocab around there. So I think that's going to be my next step in the process of how I'm going to start memorizing things. I'm going to be always putting them in my Anki deck, and you can't really see that on here because my Anki's on my phone, which is my space card repetition app. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to roll with. So that's pretty much what I got. Let's study some Japanese. Watashi wa Nihongo o benkyou shimasu. Ikimasu. Right now. So yeah, we're going to get into it. I got my amazing drink, and I got banana nut muffin. So we're in for the long haul. Let's get the time lapse going. All right, we just wrapped up some katakana. We learned 4 more letters, or symbols that we're learning. We also added in some new words, which is weightlift, which is juryoage desu. So I would say I like weightlifting. It would be juryoage wa suki desu. Hontou ni suki desu. Really like it. And then for leg strengthening, that's the other vocab word we did, since we're hitting legs tomorrow, is ashi no kyoka. So that means leg strengthening. So I could say, if I'm saying today I'm gonna leg strengthen, today's leg strengthening would be kyo wa ashi no kyoka. And that would be what it is. So what we're doing now is I'm just getting to chapter 2 of Genki. I'm pretty familiar with this chapter. I spent a lot of time on this one as well. So I'm just kind of reading through the sentences just to see what familiarity I have, what words I don't know, and what comes to mind right away. The hard part is in this, it has the English or like the Romanji, which isn't like the Japanese symbols, which they're really easy to look at. But if you keep practicing looking at those, the pronunciation ends up getting messed up down the road. And it's just harder to fully pronounce them, and you don't train your mind to read the hiragana or the katakana. So I'll show you exactly what it looks like reading through this. So this dialogue or this chapter is all about shopping, how to ask prices about things, how to say you want something, how to order food, things like that. So the first conversation is between Mary Sanwa and Miso no Hito wa Mise no Hito-san. So that's a mouthful of name. So, suimasen, kore wa ikura desu ka? Which would be, excuse me, how much is this? The storekeeper says, sore wa 3,000 yen desu. So, san is 3, so it would be ichi ni san, which is 3. Zen is going to be 1,000, so 3,000 yen desu. And then yen is just the yen. That's the word for it. So, suimasen, kore wa ikura desu ka? Sore wa 3,000 yen desu. Then they responded, takai desu ne. Ja, ano toki wa ikura desu ka? So, takai means expensive. So, like, if someone says a price, you're like, oh, takai, or like damn. That's like kind of like our damn is expensive. So takai. Desne. Ne is like a particle at the end. So when you hear desne, it means like right. It's like you're kind of like getting like your feedback, like, hey, that's expensive, right? It's like kind of you're looking for agreements there. So takai desu ne. Ja ano toki wa ikura desu ka? Ja is like in that case or so because of that. Ano is that over there, or that watch. So if I'm pointing at it, it'd be like ano. And then toki is watch. So ano toki wa ikura desu ka? Are wa 3500 or 3500 yen desu. 3500 yen desu. So it's like 3,000 go is 500 yen. And then they say, so desu ka? Are mo takai desu ne. So arewa is like saying that also is expensive. So are mo takai desu ne. The mo particle means that also or too. So it's like I said takai in the last sentence, so I would say mo in this sentence. So, and then it goes, kore wa 1800 yen desu yo. Oh my gosh, that probably sounds so horrible saying that. Ja, sono toki o kudasai. So that's kind of like an example of what my sounding and reading through is. This is actually pretty easy for me right now. Just because I've gone through it so much. The last one or the next one is you finding a wallet on the floor. And I remember saying these sentences so many times. Like saifu, which is wallet, is embedded into my brain. So it'd be like, kore wa dare no saifu desu ka? Watashi no saifu desu. Arigatou gozaimasu. So it's saying that's my wallet. So that's kind of like what I look at when I'm doing my reading. This is kind of an example of how I try to say things out loud, especially since I don't have someone to practice with. It's really easy just to start memorizing words and like you sound it out in your head, but it doesn't necessarily like come out the way you're expecting it. So I think it's like super important to at least go through these sentences and like read them out and actually say them out loud. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna do now. I'm pretty much done with my lessons for the day. I added technically like 4 new vocab words on for the weightlifting, and that's like 2 new sentences I could add together. So I'm gonna add that into my Anki deck, and then I'm just gonna go through on my own, just going through like the words that point, like the kore, sore, are, dore, kono, sono, ano, because those are gonna be words that you use a lot, and they're pretty easy to remember because they all follow like the same like theme of like the ending word and like how they switch up to it, so it's not too hard to remember. So I'm gonna go through those and then I'll probably do some more practice a little bit later on. But that's my Japanese training session for today, or language study session, and hopefully we keep this going. We got some new words that we could talk about, so heck, maybe we use some of those words in our sentences tomorrow when we're heading to the gym. So that's pretty much my night. I still got to make dinner tonight. It's just the same thing as I ate the other night: rice, steak, the bison steak, and some asparagus. And then we're gonna relax. It's about 7:52, 8 o'clock, which means we got maybe 2 hours of like some downtime where we could watch some TV. Starting new anime. I just finished the one last night. So I'm starting Oshinoku today. So hopefully it's not too addicting where I want to watch more episodes. It keeps me up. But that's my day. So hope you guys enjoyed. Oyasumi nasai. Good night. I'll see y'all tomorrow.